Damian Lillard and Russell Westbrook are two of the best point guards of our generation. And as we know, they have had a history of beef in the past. But today, we're going to talk about who we think is the better player. So I'll start here. And right now, obviously, Damian Lillard is going off. He's on fire right now in the bubble. But
Yeah, for
this
sure.
this season too, he's gone insane. I think what did he have? Like 6 50-point games that ties Wilt Chamberlain's record, something like that.
Yeah, and he had like 361-point games that tied Will too, or something around
Yeah,
there.
he's gone insane this year. But I still think that over his career, what he's been able to do and take the Portland franchise to a whole nother level, that that for me is what makes him a better player than Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, and I remember in the beginning of the season, I saw the Trailblazers weren't doing that well, and I think they had like a losing record and were like the 8th seed. I'm like, oh wow, like they must not be doing well. You know, C.J. McCollum and Damian Lillard must be underperforming, but obviously not. Damian Lillard has like proved himself in the bubble. You know,
Who do you think has had the better career?
well over their career, I think Russell Westbrook.
I don't know, bro. I see the reason, and this is the one reason why I think Dame solidifies it is because he's stayed with his one team like nobody does anymore. He's stayed
Yeah.
with his team and he's progressively improved. Like if you look at Portland year after year since Dame has entered the league, they didn't make the playoffs the first year. They made it to the first round the next year. I don't know exactly. I think they made it to the second round the first year in the playoffs. Then the third or conference finals, they keep improving. Dame keeps pushing his teams to new levels. And what we've seen him do this year just solidifies that. And I see the argument for Westbrook stat wise. I like I think Westbrook can run an offense, but Dame is just he's it's so crazy to me, like the way he's revolutionizing the game along with Steph Curry, but he's able to play from so far out that it just makes the offense so much easier for everybody else.
Yeah.
I don't see that ability to make everything so easy for everybody else in Westbrook. Do you?
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, I think Damian Lillard is good in that way, in that he can just like go out and take a deep three if his team is struggling that possession, and sometimes he can definitely like bail his team out. Obviously, with last year in the playoffs,
Mm-hmm.
but I think Russ Westbrook still had a great season this year. Everyone thought
He
he
has.
would
He
be like
has. He has.
terrible with James Harden and stuff, and he's definitely been like over exceeding everyone's expectations.
That's true.
Um, but yeah, I definitely agree that Dame is the better player this year. But Russell Westbrook averaged a triple double for 3 straight seasons, and even though people say, "Oh, he was on a bad team, so he was always getting the ball," that still could also mean that he was doing well. I mean,
No, I
the fact that he could average over 10 assists every game, and with their next best player being Steven Adams, is pretty amazing.
no, yeah, definitely. Um, Westbrook is one of the greatest. Well, I don't want to say that, but he's an elite level passer in this league. I don't think he gets enough credit for that.
Yeah.
He did have Paul George though, like even when he didn't have Kevin Durant, and I don't know. I feel like the team's success. I think he did a good job with the teams that he had, but the team's success didn't come to the level
Yeah.
Dame was able to get his teams to. Um, but this year, you're right. Westbrook has been dominating. I think Mike D'Antoni actually like fits his style. Mike D'Antoni wants to either shoot threes or layups.
Yeah.
And that made Westbrook, okay, why don't you just not shoot at all and just take only layups? And Westbrook has the most points in the paint out of anybody in the league this year as a guard. Yeah. That's insane to me.
Yeah. And also, like, you see these plays of him playing on the wing. He's been great on the wing. And, like, there's been a couple times where he's kind of, like, chilling in the corner. And he's just waiting for that moment where he can, like, go and get the offensive rebound and put it back. You know, like, he's done that more than a few times this season, and that's been great, too.
Yeah. But I just, like, again, I think Westbrook's opportunity to prove that he is a top-level superstar. Like, when I say top-level superstar, I'm thinking of somebody that is an all-star year after year, which Russell does. He has that.
Yeah.
And so does Dame. But also a guy that is able to elevate his game in the playoffs. I think Westbrook can do that. I think Dame maybe a little more.
Yeah, I think that Russell Westbrook is better in. I mean, maybe not better, but he's definitely a good player. But Damian Lillard is just better in the postseason, and
True.
it's like
Dame time. It's Dame time.
Like a better team.
It's Dame time. Yeah.
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 So I think that helps. Like
they are very close though in skill. Like if we like to look at, I think that's why these guys like don't really get. Well, they've had competitive.
People don't get along with many people.
Yeah. Well, I think that's because both of them are like scrappy. Both of them are, I want to say undersized guard, but they're both shorter point guards.
Yeah.
And what were you saying?
And that's also great that they're both shorter. And like you said, Russell Westbrook is what? He's like 6'1" or something around there. Or 6'3",
I don't know. 6'2", 6'3", I don't know.
Yeah, something around there. But he has the most points in the paint per game. Like that's pretty great.
That's crazy.
You know that.
Yeah.
He's shorter. I mean, what? He's what?
Both of these guys are crazy. Westbrook has the most points in the paint, and Dame has shooting like 42% from 35 feet or further. Like, that's insane. So I'm gonna wrap that up there. One last bonus question here. Do you think Portland can beat the Lakers in the first round?
I definitely think they could. They could definitely pull it off. I think the Lakers were taking their position for granted, and then they were like, "Oh, we're playing the Trailblazers in the bubble, and they're the Trailblazers in the bubble."
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I think that the series, as far as who's going to win it, is about even right now. People underestimate when you are the underdog in a series. That first game is so huge. Like, you want to put everything you got into winning that first game, because now that's putting all the pressure on the other team. In this case, it's the Lakers.
Yeah, I think at the Sixers game, they showed a stat, and it was like 75% of teams that win game one go on to win the series. Yeah,
it's crazy. Like, the game one is so important. It's to set the tone, and I expected the Blazers to win that game because the Lakers have been playing not good. That's just flat out not good.
Yeah,
you saw Anthony. I don't know if you watched the game, but Anthony Davis was cold. The only way he was scoring was at the free throw line. And Dame time, Portland Trailblazers, red hot. They're coming in, and that, like, they're carrying the momentum 100%. So we're gonna need to see some guys other than LeBron step up in this next game.
Yeah, Nurkic and CJ McCollum have both been playing great too, along with Damian Lillard. And I think in your previous video with your bracket, talking about the Trailblazers and Lakers, you gave some great thoughts about that and how you thought that the Trailblazers would win.
Yeah. Thank you for coming on the podcast once again. I'll see you in the next one, hopefully, sometime. And we're going to wrap it up there. Thank you all for watching. Make sure to check out my other videos. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And see ya.